Derrick Lewis just released a video of him in a bit of an odd sparring situation at his gym. So I'll play the video and then comment on it, both in terms of what happened, what I think actually happened, if there's going to be any sort of repercussions for Derrick Lewis, and what those repercussions should be, if there will be. There we go. Or not.
Came in here, I think, 4 times already. Just talking mad shit. And the wife was pretty much double him. Came in here, I think, 4 times already. Just talking.
All right, so that's the video right there. So if you can see on the video, first off, it's dated 12/18, so that means that this just happened. So it's not like he was hanging on to this video for a while and just made the decision to put it up. This is something that's relatively new. His explanation of what happens is when a boxer said he will knock me out because I'm an MMA fighter. So my assumption on what he means here is that someone came into his gym, so that they had a boxing background and wanted to test it out. I don't know if this is the guy who was talking shit online first and then came into the gym. If it was someone who just came in on the spot. It's also not exactly clear what he said. Here, Derrick is saying that the boxer said he would knock him out. I mean, I guess if that's exactly what he said, then at that point, Derrick probably feels the need to prove something. I know sometimes when people come to gyms for the first time, especially if they don't know what to expect, they may want to test themselves against either a high-ranking student or even the instructor. And the idea isn't like, I think I'm going to kick this guy's ass, so much as it is like, I want to test myself. And if the idea here was that this guy just wanted to test himself with Derrick Lewis and this is what he got, you would definitely say that Derrick would have crossed the line. But with the explanation of the boxer saying he was going to knock him out, if that's what it was, and the boxer came in and said, hey, look, like, you're just a bitch-ass MMA fighter. You don't know how to box. I can just destroy you in the ring. Well, I guess at that point, if that's the way you're laying it down, then this is something that can happen. Now, as far as how sparring typically goes, yes, sometimes it can get more violent. People do get knocked out in sparring, but typically if someone does get knocked out in sparring or if they get hurt in sparring, at that point, someone's going to step in and break it up. Or more often than not, someone won't need to, because the fighters who are doing it, the one who was able to knock out his opponent or knock out a sparring partner, is generally going to stop at that point and kind of be like, oh shit, I didn't mean to do that, or I hope he's okay. Whereas here, it's not as though you have like a ref floating around or someone acting as a ref. Everyone's just kind of watching on the side. But even here, I mean, it looks like people are starting to kind of rush in as Derrick is punching him while he's obviously being defenseless there. So for Derrick, he's definitely taking it further than a normal gym spar. This definitely seems to be something where he's aggravated with the guy and wants to make a point. It does seem like people were jumping in and stopping and putting a stop to it there. So for this boxer, or the so-called boxer, we don't know his name, it seems as though in all likelihood he signed a waiver. He asked for a sparring match, and he asked for one where the idea of someone getting knocked out was a definite possibility. So for him, I don't really know that I see any grounds for a lawsuit. Was it smart for Lewis to pound on him while he was through the ropes, especially facing the wrong way? I mean, it's definitely unnecessary, but as far as there being anything criminal here, I don't know that I see it, so long as all that I'm assuming is true in terms of there being people in the gym who are coming in to stop it after the guy was done, in terms of him signing a waiver beforehand. So don't know that I see an issue there. Now, the whole, when a boxer said he was going to knock me out because I'm an MMA fighter, again, that's vague, and that's also vague in that with a description like that, you can make that description just 100 different ways. Like if a boxer wanted to like have a white belt, or if a white belt came into a boxer gym and said, hey, I'm a jiu-jitsu guy, I can beat the crap out of you, and then they had like a video of when a jiu-jitsu guy says he's going to beat up a boxer. So as far as this goes, like, we don't see much of this guy who's supposedly a boxer. We don't exactly know what his boxing looks like. In the short period here, that the guy doesn't seem to punch like a very good boxer. So I wouldn't exactly take this beyond just Derrick Lewis beating up a bum. Like, it's not as though Derrick Lewis is beating up a pro boxer here. This guy does not move around like a pro boxer. He doesn't hold his hands like a pro boxer. Granted, this is a very short clip, but to me, it just seems like it's someone who didn't really know what they were talking about, who got under Derrick Lewis's skin, whether they challenged him or whatever the case may be. But things did not go well for him at all. And so this just ends up being one of those legendary gym fight type of things. Like we had that one with Deontay Wilder where there was a fan who was taunting him online, and Wilder brought him in and just beat the crap out of him, and then the guy would start to run away. Then he'd come back, and then Wilder would get after him again, and the guy would turtle up, and it was kind of like going back and forth, back and forth. So I guess this is Derrick Lewis's moment where it's sort of like a gym battle against a random Twitter thug or wherever this guy came from. But I don't know that I really see this developing beyond just kind of like a funny story that people look at, they laugh at, and that's the end of that. I don't see there being any criminal charges here. Don't see there being any reason for them. If you're this guy and you actually did challenge Derrick Lewis, it's bad enough to get beat like that where you're, I mean, let's be honest, it's not a very good look for another man to have you in that kind of position. It looks like this could be a different kind of tape if you get what I'm saying. So hopefully that means this is the end of it. They had their little dust up. Derrick Lewis proved his point. So kind of an entertaining video, but I don't see this being anything where it's going to take Derrick Lewis out of his fight with Ilir Latifi, or it's going to have any other long-term negative consequences for him. It's just one of those things where it happened, and he's been able to get a lot of social media impressions off of it, and that's about it.